Aloha.
Hi. Look at that beautiful full moon right behind your elbow. Catch the full moon. So pretty.
How was Avatar?
Oh my gosh, we did. We saw Avatar, Way of the Water today.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. I think it did exceed my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was digitally amazing. So much design. They put a lot of work into, I think, all the animation and everything, and they told a good story. Meaningful.
I think so. Once upon a time, I bought a $17 early bird ticket for a submarine ride, and it was a deeply moving experience. And that film reminded me of...
Oh, because you did the submarine ride in Hawaii, and so you got to go down with the fish and see the reef, and you got to have someone, I think he talked to you all.
The drama, the underwater drama.
Yeah, and you got to have a guide. There was a guide there. He was a very knowledgeable, marine biologist who told you about everything.
He was. He was a marine biologist. Yeah, it's a lot of themes in that film. A lot of people living inside bodies. I was staring at Rosie, our Roomba. We named our Roomba after Rosie from the Jetsons, a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And, I thought, Rosie has this map of our apartment. What if she had a higher granularity map of our apartment that included a Rosie? So she has a simulated instance of our apartment inside her robot mind.
Well, she keeps screwing up because she bumps into everything and she retraces her steps, both of which I have redone the settings for, and she should not be doing this. She's actually not a she, is she?
We call her a she because Rosie from the Jetsons had a she-ness.
Yeah.
Right, but how do we know we aren't living inside a high resolution Rosie the Roomba simulation of the world? And how do we know that simulation isn't inside another Rosie the Roomba simulation?
So your simulation theory is a curious one. What does it say about the full moon? Does the full moon mean anything to you inside this simulation?
It's fake, just like the Truman Show.
Oh gosh, that's
Ed Helms is up in there.
Uninspiring though. I think humans need hope. I think that we need to create meaning in our lives where we don't find it, and not get in our own way. I don't think we should uninspire our own selves with that sort of thinking.
The moon is inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
I think the moon is inspirational. And it's a blessing to get to enjoy this time of year out here within line of sight of a full moon. Fullish. I think it's full. I'm calling it full.
It's so interesting. I think if people are gonna hear our conversation, which does feel a little weird doing it on camera, I gotta say. Maybe doing it more, it'll feel more natural. Like there's just another person sitting here listening to us, but it does feel weird. And I guess in my mind, I'm thinking about how does this sound to other people? And
I enjoy this weirdness. I think it's an exercise for us to get more real with ourselves.
Maybe that's a good challenge from this.
Thank you for supporting our self-authenticity.
That's part of it. Yeah.
What do you think, Kyna? You think it's all just a big game of fetch? Who cares? At the end of Total Recall, they postulate, what if this is a dream? Mm-hmm. What if it's all a dream? And to me, my interpretation of it is that they were saying, who cares? And that you don't have to sort out whether this is a simulation inside of a simulation, etc.
Yeah, it's very possible that that religion is really only a byproduct of our discomfort of not knowing. And maybe that's getting a little philosophical, because a lot of philosophers are atheists, mostly for that reason. And perhaps living life as the saying goes, like, ignorance is bliss. Maybe that is actually the ingredient to living a happier, fuller life, because if you're not always trying to know everything or understand everything to its core, maybe just finding a pit with nothing in it, which just dissolves meaning from life, maybe not doing that actually saves oneself from it all.
Kyna doesn't worry about any of this jazz.
Yeah, but
Kyna is the name of this dog.
I have to live responsibly so that she survives, because you know what? This dog would walk out in front of traffic every chance she gets. Getting hit by a car once in her life was not enough to teach her to stay away from traffic. So I have to keep my wits about me.
She did. This dog got hit by a car. She busted up her rear right leg.
So amazing how quickly she healed.
And the late Dr. Trevor Rodriguez put a steel pin through the bones, I believe, and tied them up with a wire. And the pin was sticking. Was it sticking out, or it was sticking out for?
It was sticking out of her knee
for weeks, months.
We had to keep her like immobile with a cast and decreased exercise in order for the pin to keep the bones to setting correctly.
But she healed up, and the week of the wedding was when she started running again, and then she here she is. She's still in the running.
I like that ball, the glow check-it ball, because it glows, doesn't need batteries, and because it makes a whistle. So in the darkness, she can find it easier than the others.
Yes. Is that echolocation?
Echolocation. I think we heard that on the movie Avatar today.
There's a lot of stuff. As an interesting film that beguiles one to philosophize as to the ins and outs of it all. And
maybe we're more inclined to doing that. Like maybe I think we're both very intellectual. So our personality typing. I'm an INTJ. What are you again?
I get a different score every time I take that thing. Every time I take that thing, it tells me I get different letters, and
I think you're like a ENTF. Anyway, we both have thinking, the T, in common, and I definitely see that. And I think anybody who watches this, who spends their precious moments of their life watching our video right now.
Thank you for watching.
I hope it's not a waste of your time. It really could be.
If one person watches this, if you're watching it, then it was worth it.
It really might not be. But if that actually happened, people might actually be like, oh yeah, they're quite intellectual, or either on base or off base intellectual. We might just be boring as all get out, but we entertain each other.
I am willing to be off base with my intellectualism or pseudo-intellectualism.
Yeah, in fact, to bring some psychology into it, there's other personality typing that assessments that are used in the field. One of them being the one we referred to, but they talk about disagreeableness and agreeableness as being one of the big fives in understanding a person. And if I posit that the thinking trait in our 4-letter personality type that we hold in common, I think that actually is tied with the disagreeable nature with the big 5 assessment. Because to think deeply and to philosophize about topics, you kind of have to be disagreeable, because we're not satisfied with the easy answer.
We want to challenge conceptions.
And I think that's where being a partly disagreeable person is actually a really good thing. And that's why we need disagreeable people, because we need people to challenge the status quo, or else we would just be little stupid chickens. All of us, stupid chickens.
That's why you need me to disagree with your plan for organizing the drawers.
For organizing the drawers. Good luck with that. I think I've got a good system, and you just can't beat me.
I agree. See that? You gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Choose your battles.
Sometimes you just gotta bail, and be happy. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, Kyna's good inspiration to be happy.
She is.
You guys, oh my gosh, 10 and a half minutes.
She doesn't worry about philosophizing.
Babbling along.
Thank you for tuning in. There they are. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's those animals. And there's those two. Slowly approaching. Up there they go. They have been spooked. Those are some deer minding their own business. Spooked by the woman with the dog. Where are you going?
So here we are, it's a Sunday, and I am making more kombucha. And what you see in front of you is James eating the extra scoby. Do you know what the scoby is, James?
I have blacked it out of my mind.
It's something like a colony of bacteria and yeast, right? What's it taste like?
Kombucha.
What's the texture?
Smooth.
Smooth?
Slippery.
And slippery. Is it
I'm munching on a pancake made out of rubber.
You kind of, oh, there you go. Some of our friends would know exactly what this is like. They'd be like, yes, the health benefits are groovy. And then other people, it's okay. It's okay if you think that was really disgusting. Because it is. But the kombucha tastes good. I've kind of perfected that process.
This is my penalty for dropping the scoby in the sink while we're trying to rinse it off. Because then we couldn't risk contaminating the rest of the booch.
Yes, just in case anything in the sink didn't want it to go back into the jar of new booch for this next week.
Or for me.
He did it, he ate it. It's good for the gut bacteria, they say. All right, guys, well, till next time.
Aloha.
Adios.